Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. And welcome back. The Art of Worldly Wisdom. A discussion and commentary brought to you by, as always, your host, DarthHideous. Seems like we are a little sparse on the chat side of things today. Must be a lazy Friday. Happy freaking Friday, by the way, everybody. 'Tis looking like we are on zeros. Shout out to all of you out there who is hiding. Since there's nobody here just yet, I can go around and bring some things up. Excellent. So, last time we were here, we went through the first 10 maxims in The Art of Worldly Wisdom by Balthasar Gracian. And I'm getting the sneaky suspicion that the 300 maxims in The Art of Worldly Wisdom are just going to be like the next 300 laws of power. Because the shades I got from the previous project, I mean, there was definitely significant overlap. But I don't hate that. The philosophies are time tested, and they are very much proven to be withstanding that time test. Anyway, I suppose I should pop this thing up into the mix. Sorry, I am super in chill mode right now, so I don't know what's going on with the stream. If it's up, looks like it's up on Rumble. Seems to be live on YouTube. Alright, cool. Well, I guess I will just get into it until people show up. I could just hang out here. Maxim 11, though. This one here, though. Cultivate those who can teach you. Let friendly intercourse be a school of knowledge. Now, I'm fairly certain they mean discourse here. They don't mean the type of intercourse that ends in babies. Although, that'd be friendly. And culture be taught through conversation. Thus, you make your friends your teachers and mingle the pleasures of conversation with the advantages of instruction. Sensible persons thus enjoy alternating pleasures. They reap applause for what they say. Please clap, y'all. That is your sign. And gain instruction from what they hear. Learn from the mistakes of others, they say. Also learn from the successes of others. We are always attracted to others by our own interest, but in this case it is of a higher kind. Wise men frequent the houses of great noblemen, not because they are temples of vanity, but as theaters of good breeding. Okay, so maybe this is the type of friendly intercourse that ends in babies. There be gentlemen who have the credit of worldly wisdom, because they are not only themselves oracles of all nobleness by their example and their behavior, but those who surround them form a well bred academy of worldly wisdom of the best and noblest kind. Right. If y'all didn't notice, I kind of do this YouTube Rumble streaming thing. And I kind of do it as a theater for conversation, discussion, and thought. Specifically for this reason, I have a knowledge and perspective on things that is uniquely fitted to me. Everyone else has a knowledge and perspective on things uniquely fitted and suited to them. It is befitting, then, if I want to increase my understanding of things, that I have to step outside of the way I see, interpret, and understand things and have a friendly intercourse. That's why I have my chat. I like to keep this as a noble house of thought, not thought specifically for the reason. Morning, Firsty. Kind of dead in here today. Think everybody's either just waking up or having lunch or uh, probably watching or doing something else. It is also beautiful outside, so they might be doing real world shit. It's good to see you, though, there, my guy. But yeah, I mean, you do enjoy the alternating pleasures of being appreciated for what you say. You reap that applause, and you gain instruction from what you hear because other people have perspectives and thoughts that you do not. That is why there are certain people that I love to talk to who absolutely see things differently than I do and will push back on me because it helps me to understand that just because I see the world one way doesn't mean that is the truth of it. That is just the truth from my point of view. This part right here. We are always attracted to others by our own interests. But in this case, it is of a higher kind. Like when it comes to the sharing of knowledge and wisdom, kind of the crux of this pocket oracle, the people you surround yourself with, whether they be the wise or the fool, always have wisdom to impart upon you, either through good guidance or through bad example. Now, this bit right here about the houses of noblemen, that sounds like a little bit of elitism, but funny thing about the elite, though, is we don't call them the inferior, we call them the elite. And though some may see themselves as elite, unrightfully so, uh, the people who are elite tend to set themselves apart, distinguish themselves, if you will, very distinctly from everybody else. You can pick them out, especially in today's culture where everyone has a camera and some sort of online presence, you can tell who's got it and who doesn't. Good morning, Bijou. Good to see ya. Was having a slow day. Not so many viewers though. We got 3 on my indicator, 2 on YouTube, 1 on the X, and 12. Shout out to the 12 on Rumble. Uh, I wish Rumble chats were more indicative of the large viewership. Like there are so many people who lurk, and I I know people like have the Rumble app on their TVs and can't chat, and a lot of people are just browsing that way. But there's a lot of lurkers in the Rumble side. Shout out to you guys. Oh, busy, busy. That's a good thing to be. Speaking of B, hello, B Juju. I know I just said hello. I'm saying it again. So this is why I try to cultivate those who can teach me. So I'm super like when I saw this was the first maxim of the day to talk about, I was like, "Oh, that's literally what we're doing here. That's perfect." Always be willing to challenge the beliefs you have. If you're going to be truly wise about a thing, sometimes you have to see things from other people's perspective. And luckily, if you make nice and have good base of a community, you can cultivate quite the little school. Anywho, I think I can get through several maxims today. Number 12. Nature and art. Material and workmanship. There is no beauty unadorned and no excellence that would not become barbaric if it were not supported by artifice. This remedies the evil and improves the good. Nature scarcely ever gives us the very best. For that, we must have recourse to art. Without this, the best of natural dispositions is uncultured and half lacking to any excellence if training is absent. Everyone has something unpolished without artificial training, and every kind of excellence needs some polish. This is indicative of the concept of talent versus skill. And, like, if you look at the art of nature in its natural state, it's more raw. It's less refined. It's less polished. Like somebody who's got a natural talent in any sort of arena, whether it be music or art, like, sure, you have a talent, but practice, refinement, and training, you can take your talent and create a great skill that reaches and achieves a level of excellence. But it is almost impossible to reach the level of excellence, of mastery, based on pure talent alone. You need the training. Fragile? That's Italian. Why are we being fragile? It kind of seems like a nothing kind of Friday. I don't know. Maybe everybody was just here for the 48 laws, and now that it's over, like, maybe the show's over and we can cancel the rest of the streams here on out. I don't know. Or maybe this just sounds too much like that. Or it's just a random Friday and everyone's somewhere else. Tough to tell. It's still early in the game. But I got nothing to. Except for I've got 2 Maxims already. And we're not even 20 minutes in. I don't know if I've got anything more to add about nature and art. Seems pretty reasonable to me. And some of these things are just going to be like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. No need to explain. Maxim 13. Just my lucky number, y'all. Act sometimes on second thoughts, sometimes on first impulse. Oh, that's going to be fun. God, the problem with this concept of acting sometimes on second thoughts and sometimes on first impulse is knowing the difference and knowing when to differentiate. I'm looking for all my people, AWR. Good to see you, my dude. Aha. Right. Right. The articles. Maxim Magazine for the articles, right? Sure. Man's life is a warfare against the malice of men. This is the nature of competition. Sagacity fights with strategic changes of intention. It never does what it threatens. It aims only at escaping notice. Ghosting in plain sight. It aims in the air with dexterity and strikes home in an unexpected direction. The art of misdirection and concealing, always seeking to conceal its game. Ah, yes, always conceal your intentions. This one maxim is hitting on so many laws. It lets a purpose appear in order to attract the opponent's attention, but then turns round and conquers by the unexpected. But a penetrating intelligence anticipates this by watchfulness and lurks in ambush. It always understands the opposite of what the opponent wishes it to understand and recognizes every feint of guile. So be aware of the misdirection. Never assume that things are as they appear, especially if someone is openly opposing you. It lets the first impulse pass by and waits for the second or even the third. Sagacity now rises to higher flights on seeing its artifice foreseen. I really need to learn new words. I've never heard of sagacity before. Good morning, Div. Yeah. You're not wrong, Bijou. Everyone's on Rumble. I have achieved, uh, I don't know, it's not Inception. We have achieved proper balance of, we have 0 watching on YouTube and all the people have now found Rumble. It's only what I've been pushing the whole time. Shout out to those who find this on YouTube, though. those who show up late and those in the replay gang, like, I still love you guys. It's just YouTube itself that I'm not particularly a fan of. And tries to deceive by truth itself. Ooh. So be a sagat. Be sagacious. Changes its game in order to change its deceit, and cheats by not cheating, and founds deception on the greatest candor. But the opposing intelligence is on guard with increased watchfulness, and discovers the darkness concealed by the light, and deciphers every move. This be the level 3D, 4D, 5D chest. Yeah, sagacity, the quality of being sagacious. Literally the most useless definition in the history of fucking defining words. Ayo, Xander. Ayo, Xander. I mean, sagacity is the quality of being sagacious. I am not helped at all by that. uh, the more subtle because more simple. In this way, the guile of the python combats the far darting rays of Apollo. I mean, to know the snake to be the snake. Sagacious, having or showing great discernment and good judgment. Ah, shrewdness. Thank you, Bijou, the dictionary looker upper. Appreciate you out here, I really do. Uh, but yeah, being discerning is the way. I've never heard sagacious before. I mean, I probably have heard it, but as I stated in the last episode, this was written in 1647. There's going to be a lot of words in here that aren't commonplace anymore, and I'm going to struggle with them. So when chat does the dictionary digging for me, just know that I love you, chat. I couldn't possibly be expected to look up every words that I don't know, but you guys are the best. So shout out to the support side of the stream. But yeah, I mean, being discerning, knowing your enemy. Sun Tzu preached this. Gracian preaches it as well. Pretty much all the great military thinkers who have to combat strategy understand that knowing your own strategy is one step, and being able to discern your enemies is like level 2. And then there's like when you get into chess, it's like, what does my opponent what do I think my opponent thinks that I'm doing? What do I think that my opponent thinks I think that they're doing? Like there's levels on levels on levels to the end around, and if you can think multiple levels deep, usually you can be prepared for any sort of contingency. Ayo, not Ayo Xander, but multiple personalities on one coalition. But anyway, be sagacious in all things, y'all. This is this is the advice given here. Is be of discernment and good judgment. Maxime 14. The thing itself and the way it is done. Substance is not enough. Accident is also required. As the scholastics say, a bad manner spoils everything, even reason and justice. A good one supplies everything, gilds a no, sweetens truth, and adds a touch of beauty to old age itself. The how plays a large part in affairs. A good manner steals into the affections. Fine behavior is a joy in life, and a pleasant expression helps out a difficulty in a remarkable way. Now, there are multiple different ways that we can understand a manner, but in this, it is the manner in which you uh, conduct yourself. This is your behavior. This is your disposition, if you will. Disposition. And this entire thing boils down to the message is not enough. The way you deliver it is a lot. And if you have a shitty disposition or you have an unpersonable approach, you could have the most useful, helpful truth to say to somebody. You could be literally giving them a message that will save their life. But if you come off as offending, you're just going to put them on guard and make enemies of them. Sometimes we have to sugarcoat the truth. We have to have a better bedside manner if we're going to give somebody hospital levels of bad news. It's tough because people are naturally defensive. And a lot of the times, the truth is well, not a lot of the times. It's literally almost always. The truth is a lot more offensive to people than a lie. Because you could lie on somebody, and if they know you're lying on them, I mean, if you know they're lying on you, I mean, like, whatever, they're just lying and making shit up. Like, it sucks, but when they beat you over the head with something about you that's absolutely, actually true, it hurts because you know it's true. And that sucks worse. I mean, and this is going to happen. Omni says I just recently lost some friends because I told them the truth. Well, that'll happen. I mean, like I said, a lot of it is not the message itself. It's how you deliver it. And there's a fine line between like couching your words to the point where they don't hit and beating somebody to death over the with the truth, like sometimes you can smack them a bit and they get it. You hit them with too much truth, you hit them too hard, and you will knock them right out of the like discussion. You don't hit them hard enough and they won't understand that this is fucking important and you need to fucking take note. Morning, cat. I mean, it's not morning for you because you live in UK. I guess that's one way to look at it, Omni. Like, I mean, I try to convey the truth in a as diplomatic a fashion I can with the people I declare are worth my time. There are some people that I've decided are not worth my time, and they can just eat all the dicks. Like, if you come talk to me like you're going to get the absolute, like, you're gonna get the shitty side of my manner. But if I actually think you're somebody worth engaging with, I will go ahead and try to be at least somewhat considerate of the fact that there is a person with feelings behind uh whoever I'm talking to. And I mean, in some cases that's the case. Like, you that's why I said there's a balance to it. Good morning, Grace. And finding the balance does not mean like not offending people. Finding the balance means like knowing knowing where to stop. Knowing, okay, this I could say this thing. This thing is true. I know this thing is going to hurt you if I say it, but can it help? And if it can't help and if it can just hurt, then maybe you just don't fucking say it. Maybe you just don't say it. I'm working on that because that's one that I struggle with. Is sometimes I say the hurtful thing and it literally in no way, shape, or form can be helpful. And I have to go back and regret that I said that. But that's me, like, sure. Is it true? Sure. Is it necessary? No. And that's why having a discerning, sagacious approach to things is the basis of like wisdom. It's knowing what to share and what not to. The thing itself and the way it is done. This is a good one. I'm gonna bookmark this one. A bad manner does spoil everything. Remember that. 15. Keep ministering spirits. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if it's you, listen up. It is a privilege of the mighty to surround themselves with the champions of intellect. A privilege. These extricate them from every fear of ignorance. These worry out for them the moot points of every difficulty. 'Tis a rare greatness to make use of the wise, and far exceeds the barbarous tastes of Tigranes, who had a fancy for captive monarchs as his servants. It is a novel kind of supremacy, the best that life can offer, to have as servants by skill those who by nature are our masters. 'Tis a great thing to know, little to live. No real life without knowledge. There is remarkable cleverness in studying without study, in getting much by means of many, and through them all to become wise. Afterward, you speak in the council chamber on behalf of many, and as many sages speak through your mouth as were consulted beforehand. You thus obtain the fame of an oracle by others' toil. Such ministering spirits distill the best books and serve up the quintessence of wisdom. But he that cannot have sages in service should have them for his friends. Ah, and here I am surrounding myself with a bunch of autistic retards for friends. I'm just kidding, you guys. I love you all, and you're all sage and your own right and your own wisdom. But this really does go back to the 11th maxim really quickly. And if you happen to be as lucky in 1647 when Gracian wrote this as you can be in 2024 when there's literally like the collective knowledge of all the world available to most people at their fingertips via the internet, you truly were blessed. You're truly blessed now. I was watching a stream last night regarding like white pills and the faith. Like we actually do live in probably the best time in human history. Like I can't say that definitively. I can, however, argue that show me a better time to be alive than right now, right in the middle of all the chaos we see around us. It is almost the dawning of a new enlightenment. And we are all truly lucky to be able to surround ourselves with so much wisdom. However, it is the the detriment of the fool to be surrounded by infinite information and still be starving for knowledge. And I'd see that in so many people. There's like all the information is out there. People have debated all the things. I mean, all the things that we fight over on a regular basis, all the cultural shit, all the political shit. Usually, this is the case, Div. The retards are soft and sad. They are pathetic and weak. They will go first, hopefully. I mean, they usually do. This is historically how it happens. The meek shall inherit Zip. Deal with it. I feel like this is a cultural reference that I only tacitly can understand. That's a oh, that's that's a fool's thing to say, in my opinion. Like, I would certainly not actually hope for a collapse of things. But I mean, it is inevitable. I'm not hoping for it because when the retards start to go and things start to fall apart, uh, never underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups. That's all I can say. Never underestimate it. Even the zombie hordes are extremely dangerous if you give them enough numbers. Surround yourself with the wise, even if the wise are fools. And definitely absorb everyone's wisdom that is willing to offer it to you, because not everyone will. Happy fucking Friday, Shalomania! Good to see you, my dear. And she says happy Friday to all the chat. Looks like most of the chat's over in Rumble, Wumbling. If you're wondering where everybody is, that is. There's several people here too. I'm so confused as to how you get to that point. It's like being pregnant. Okay, I'll bite. Please explain. I mean, if you really want to get into it, we celebrate Friday around here. Uh, I know I missed the twins because I was like, well, there was nobody here to cheers with. I don't think 20 minutes into the show, and but I mean, there's like a one, a two, a four, and a two on my clock, so that's basically 420 in my opinion. Cheers, y'all. Oh dear God! What if I don't die? I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot I had the train wreck in that one. Uh, that one hits. I'm still kind of interested in AWR's summarize why it's like being pregnant. Is it because all the other women around you can provide you with like baby knowledge or something? I'm confused. Sooner or later, you become intent on facing something very daunting. Darth loves to, yeah, please go find DarthHideous on Rumble. I do love the rumbling. I'm sure at some point YouTube will come for me too. Cheers. Damn. Okay, well, this doesn't actually help clarify too much, but uh, some things I'm just not meant to understand, and being pregnant is on the list. Probably because I am not a woman. Anywho, Maxim 16, knowledge and good intentions. Oh boy. Yeah, I heard the saying about the road to hell and what it's paved with, right? It's paved with good intentions. Yes, Shy is here, but Shy is over here in the YouTube side of things with space lasers. Shilomania and space lasers. Oh, wait a minute. Shilomania on Rumbo. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you're all enjoying the show, and if you are, don't forget to smash that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to hit that follow and or subscribe button. And if you hate me and hate the content, I don't know, what are you doing here? But shout out to you too, hater. I love my haters too. I mean, they say that your hate watchers are your most loyal viewers. One of my former friends always had good intentions, always meant well, but when the time came to back up words with actions, I mean, it's easy to tell people you have good intentions, and it's easy to act like you mean well. You want to know who your friends are? Move. Literally, move your address from one address to another. You know who your friends are? The people who show up to help you move. I mean, that's the metric I use in real life, you know? Yeah, I've been complaining about this. The haters do be sticking around. It's all they have. And they are your most loyal viewers. Like, you gotta love the people who hate watch you because they will consistently give you numbers and they will give you eyes. Like, Grant Cardone says for success, you must have haters. I don't say that you must have haters. I say when you achieve success, you will inevitably have haters. That's that envy thing. People are going to envy you if you are successful. And to quote my man Dax, I've never had anyone more successful than me tell me I'm whack. And usually that's the case. Like, or pick you up from the airport. An airport pickup as a friend, especially like a 2 a.m. My flight was delayed. I can't get a cab. Airport, like uh, that person, or yeah, that another good one. Go Hagen is that friend that you call when you realize you're too drunk at the bar to drive home, so they come get your ass because you don't want to get a cab, and then they bring you back to your car in the morning. That's a homie right there. Like they make sure you're not out driving drunk. They save you the price of a cab, and they give you a lift back in the morning, and all you got to do is like smoke some herb with them. Oh shit, that's my guy right there. Like that's the guy I know is my true homie. Is I can give them that 2 a.m. Dax quote goes well with the reading. I mean, Dax is very successful and he's very independent, so DD is always friends. Yes, definitely. Especially if they wasn't even there and they just get up from what they was doing to keep your ass safe. I've been that homie before, and I've had that homie before. Like, my boy B was that homie, and yeah, I mean, I can't remember exactly what the phrase was, but there was something like a good friend will bail you out of jail, but a best friend will be in the cell next to you. Something like that. I can't remember. It's a old saying that I haven't used in a long time. I used to see it a lot in memes. Knowledge and good intentions together ensure continuance of success. A fine intellect wedded to a wicked will was always an unnatural monster. A wicked will envenoms all excellences, poisoning everything it touches. Helped by knowledge, it only ruins with greater subtlety and efficiency. 'Tis a miserable superiority that only results in ruin. Knowledge without sense is double folly. So don't be fucking evil. Especially if you're a smart person. Don't be fucking evil. I mean, sure, it might work for a while. They're going to catch on to you and they're going to be pissed when they figure it out. Allegedly. I don't know if this is even accurate or valid anymore. Like, I look around at so many people, like, the world's a much crazier place that makes less sense to me than it used to. Either that or I'm just noticing that it never made any sense and I'm just noticing it more than I used to. But yeah, knowledge and good intentions. Be smart and not evil, because that's a double folly, miserable superiority that only results in ruin. Friends are nice, says Apocryphal World Records, but that might be a rumor, Divinity said. Is it crazier than ever? I don't know. I feel like it's always been changing, and like every generation as they get older doesn't understand the next generation, and they assume that they're crazier than ever, and like it's just a perpetual cycle. Like nobody adapts well to change. I tend to agree with you that it's crazier than ever, but that's just from my perspective. Me understanding things objectively, it's like are are we just boomers now? Are we just the new boomers? Like the boomers didn't understand us either when we were younger, and now the younger generation is coming up and they're saying a whole bunch of shit that makes no goddamn sense. And it's like, wait, am I just a boomer? Is this the like general consensus of things now? I mean, there's a whole bunch of shit going on that I vehemently disagree with, and I think that crazier than ever is what Go Hagen said. Div. They used to bird people at the stake because they thought they were witches. And the logic was that if you're a witch, you can't be burned. Like, okay, so stop burning people at the stake. Before that, they believed that the sun revolved around the earth and that the earth was flat. I mean, I can't say we're crazier than ever because look at what the weird shit people used to believe that the earth is the center of the universe and everything revolves around it. That the earth is flat? I mean, people still believe this dumb shit. And I don't think we're actually crazier than ever. I mean, moms putting babies in ovens, doctors pulling babies' heads off, migrant moped gangs, people saying they're demons and unicorns. How is that any different than Genghis Khan riding across nations, slaughtering, pillaging, and raping entire populations? That's not crazier? They don't think history is older than 100 years. Yeah, and for you to believe it, you're taking someone else's word for it. But I mean, like, if we can't believe history as it's written, if we can't accept it as written, because in reality, history is just a record of things that happened allegedly. And well, we know with current media that a lot of the shit we know to be historical is actually fabricated by the media. Yeah, but we only know history based on the record we have of it. None of us were there, so we can't actually know if that's what really happened. It's just the stylized record of what we believe happened. We'd like to believe that people were more honest and forthcoming historically because that would shatter our worldview if we found out that all the history we had been taught is in fact just as much of a bullshit as the shit they're teaching today. But we have no way to prove that it's not. And that's a mind fuck, let me tell you. Are we better off than the Dark Ages? Yeah. Are we more batshit crazy than ever? Maybe. Based on historical record and statistics, which may or may. 6 likes. Can we get to 150? Can we even get to 300 likes? Oh, man. We need 300 concurrent viewers. Everybody who's here, uh, take a minute, go tell a friend about this stream. We're having an interesting discussion about how crazy the world is and how it's always been that way. So this is a lot of fun. Like you should definitely tell all your friends to buy Warcraft 3. Oh, damn it, that was a game tip. My bad. Don't buy Warcraft 3 anymore. I don't think anybody plays it. Don't buy World of Warcraft either. That's addictive hell pit, from what I heard. Someone just told me about this stream. Thank goodness people are out telling their friends about this stream. Frogget, good to see you. For the Horde! Zug Zug Divinity. Zug Zug indeed. For the Alliance? Oh, for the Horde indeed. Like, we all orcs down here. Let's be real. At least nobody's for the fucking Night Elves. Fuck the Night Elves. Anyway, I'm sure we could debate for the rest of the show just how crazy the world is, was, and always will be. Humans have a distinct problem of not having the capacity for knowledge of God. If everybody knew as God knew, then the world would be a much more uniform place. But only God knows as God knows. Blood Elf? Gross. I heard there were hors d'oeuvres. See, I even know this surrender monkey word. Hors d'oeuvres. That means like appetizers. Snacks, if you will. No, there are no hors d'oeuvres. Somebody lied. My bad. My bad. I did not tell people to tell people there were hors d'oeuvres. I didn't tell people to tell people there were snacks or popcorn. Nope. This is bring your own shit. Your blunts, your bowls, your bongs, your beers. Oh, and by the way, the real heroes of Azeroth are the Protoss. Put that one in your juice box and suck it. Team StarCraft, bitch. My bad. In order for a virus to spread effectively, you need a good delivery system, hence social media. Like, yeah, a healthy body spreads a virus much more efficiently than an unhealthy one, and uh, social media is booming. The virus is of the mind and spirit. I think the virus of the spirit infects the mind. Mis- Who is? I don't know who Mr. Anus is. Oh, the robotic throbbing butthole. Mm. Fair enough. Well played. And no, I'm not going. Like, I don't have a system to play, and I would not play World of Warcraft anyway. Like, I've never fallen into that one. I couldn't get into it even when I tried, and my computer couldn't run that if I wanted to. So I'll have to politely decline your offer. Oh, yeah, I still probably don't have the resources on my system to actually run that game, like, or any games for that matter. I can barely do a live stream without my shit lagging out and dying. I don't doubt that you could. I don't doubt that you could, but like I said, I would require complete upgrades. At this point, if I can live stream you and I learning how to play the Chinese game Go, which I don't know if I'm going to stream that or you're going to stream that, but we need to do that. We need to play Go, a very classic game. I mean, ask myself for a new PC for my birthday. I mean, I could just go buy one, but if I'm going to do that expenditure, I'm going to need a better reason. You looked into Go, and what did you find? Some 15 by 15. It's a big game. It's a big game. I was watching some people play Go on Fly or Die, and I couldn't figure out how the fuck it works still. That the first couple of times I played it, I lost because I couldn't figure out how it works, and I still can't. I read the rules and everything. I still can't figure out how it works. Yeah, me neither. So it should be fun. Don't go becoming an expert. No, no, not Pokemon Go. No, 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 no. Go. It's a Chinese game from. I see what you did there. Pokemon Go is Japanese. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Maxim 17. I don't know, but do we have anything more to say about don't be an evil genius? It, it's literally not cool. Yeah, Go is like chess, only way more abstract and way more thought intensive. Vary the mode of action. Not always the same way, so as to distract attention, especially if there be a rival. Not always from first impulse, they will soon recognize the uniformity, and by anticipating, frustrate your designs. It is easy to kill a bird on the wing that flies straight, not so one that twists, nor always act on second thoughts. They can discern the plan the second time. The enemy is on the watch. Great skill is required to circumvent him. The gamester never plays the card the opponent expects, still less that which he wants. This is expanding and compounding on the misdirection play. And God, it's really hard to explain the concept here of assessing all the different things you can do and picking the most unexpected thing. Like there's always multiple different approaches to any issue. And yeah, if people are going to be laying in wait expecting you to do one thing, unless you know they're expecting you to do that, then they're going to expect you to do this next thing. Go down the list a little ways. Or sometimes, like if they're expecting you to act on your second thoughts, act on your first impulse. Do the thing that you should be expected to do, but they wouldn't expect you to do because they would expect you to be expecting you to. You know what I'm. It's all very convoluted. Just don't make yourself easy to read. Definitely don't do what they want you to do, and try not to do what they expect you to do. Just go with the flow and let the become formless. I mean, go with the flow and let the path present itself. Usually, but also be discerning enough to know when the path has presented itself and execute. Don't hesitate. Don't second guess. Strike and get it done. But yeah, don't play into your opponent's hand. Definitely that. 18. Application and ability. A lot of these sound a lot like the same thing. There is no attaining eminence without both. Where they unite, there is the greatest eminence. Mediocrity obtains more with application than superiority without it. Work is the price which is paid for reputation. What costs little is worth little. Is little worth. Yeah, well, you get what you pay for, you know? Well, that's cool. See, look at YouTube get like buttons, even though YouTube is asshole. Oh, this one right here. Even for the highest posts, it is only in some cases application that is wanting, rarely the talent. To prefer moderate success in great things than eminence in a humble post has the excuse of a generous mind, but not so to be content with humble mediocrity when you could shine among the highest. Thus, nature and art are both needed talent and training. Back to that shit again. Hey, Apocryphal, what you do in Dubai on OnlyFans is nobody else's business except for your followers on OnlyFans. Oh, wait, that says shed on. I thought that said something different. uh, if you know, you know. uh, yeah, this is just another little bit of explanation for if you have the talent and not the training, you could be the most mediocre. And if you have no talent or training, you're basically useless. Germany? No, I'm pretty sure it's Dubai. Oh, Germany. Oh, what? God, shout out to Germany. Poor guys. Oh, what a shithole. Whoa, check this out. We have 19 viewership on Rumble as we speak right now. We have got 3 on YouTube now. Everybody is learning. The 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 fire is catching. Shout out to the 3 people still stuck on YouTube. You basically repeat after other people when you are mediocre. But I mean, a lot of people repeat after other people, even people who excel. But most people who most mediocre people repeat without any understanding or knowledge of what they're repeating or why. They just monkey see, monkey do. If I'm repeating something, usually it's because, yes, by repeat, you mean copy. I know what you mean. They don't cite sources. They don't understand why what they're saying is important. They just say the thing because they heard the thing. If you know why you believe what you believe or why you understand what you understand to be true, it's very easy to defend your position and make it make sense to other people. But most people fucking don't. like Fox News watchers, like MSNBC watchers, like these people who literally don't even have enough information to have an opinion on a thing because they got their shit in like 60 second to 2 minute sound bites from the shiny box or from the TikTok or from wherever they got their fucking information from. It's like, did anyone even explain to you what any of that shit that you heard means? No. No, they did not. And it shows. It shows easy. It shows very quickly to anyone who actually does like to have an understanding of the shit that they hear. I don't even have to watch CNN anymore because there are so many people who like make their grift off of commenting on other commentators commenting. Like there's a reason Tim Pool exists, and that's to do this job for me. Like he's got a whole network of people that watch shit news that I won't watch, and then they come out and give their spin, and then they call it something different. And yep, something different confirmed. But they do a good job of appealing to the normies because they're just a touch better. And then you have the people who don't get any name recognition, who go into full depth of things and say, oh, well, now I have a much better understanding of how everybody is bullshitting. When you become an expert, you can formulate new personal understandings. That's an interesting concept. I find myself doing this a lot. I mean, my position on a great many things has changed ever since I actually started like thinking about my beliefs and what's truly valuable to me, what's really important in life. And like the way I see like society being able to function, for example. Yeah, it's weird. It's definitely uncomfortable to be in a constant flux of position. And sometimes I hold directly contradictory beliefs, mostly because I see things from contradictory perspectives, opposing perspectives, anyway. Sometimes idealism and pragmatism never go together, and sometimes they don't still. It's unfortunate, but it's the way of it. This art of worldly wisdom is like if I were gonna retitle this book, 300 Laws Not to Be a Dumb Fuck. Sounds like a really sounds like a really good title for this book. And I thought 48 Laws of Power was a lot. It's a good thing we can get through more than one of these a day. The world is reality expressing itself, hence reality is subjective. Yes, you are correct, Gohagen. Facts are black and white, but interpretation is, yeah, the manifestation of things. And it is subjective, open to interpretation, and will be different depending on what your values are. Like, there are actually people who deep down believe that the way we're heading as a society right now is beneficial to somebody. I have some theories based on mouse utopia, but that's for another day. Everything's for another day. There's always, like, every can of worms we open comes with so many cans of worms inside. It's unfortunate the nature of that, but it will keep this entire theme and show going forever in perpetuity because there's always more to explore. Do you not know about the Mouse Utopia experiment, Cool Frog? Oh man, the Mouse Utopia. There are no snails in Mouse Utopia. There are snails in Mouse's Fish Utopia. Bruh, I'm just gonna say, for a very crude example, when I was in school, Pluto was a planet, and scientists agreed. Pluto has since been unplaneted completely and then reinstated as a dwarf planet. And then there was another planet that they said existed. And then they said that's not a thing anymore either. So we went from 9 planets to 8 to briefly we had 10 to back to 9 to back to 8 to now we're at like 8.5. Yes, this shit's ever changing. You know what's never changing? The holy word of God. Just just saying. Science is always changing and the word of God remains consistent for all eternity. Now this is the art of worldly wisdom. I'm not going to get too scriptural about it, but God is very consistent. Yes, they've changed they try to retranslate it. God is consistent, humans are not. God has never changed his word. Humans have fucked with his word and tried to pervert it. That's different. That's different. God didn't change the scriptures, man did. Yeah, I don't think God did that. Just saying, but God do all things, so arouse no exaggerated expectations on entering. Oh fuck. It is the usual ill luck of all celebrities not to fulfill afterwards the expectations beforehand formed of them, especially when these expectations are formed by them. I'm looking at you. Yes, you. Cheers. Cheers to all of you. But don't arouse these exaggerated expectations. The real can never equal the imagined. Yes, yes, yes. Reality rarely, if ever, lives up to our expectations. Mostly never. For it is easy to form ideals, but very difficult to realize them. Hmm. Imagination weds hope and gives birth to much more than things are in themselves. This is why I always preach like avoiding looking at the world as you want it to be and assess it as it actually is. And a lot of people struggle with this because they are taught to believe that things are inherently true that are not inherently true. Well, one of the most dangerous lies you could ever hear in your life is I'm with the government and I'm here to help. Just saying, like, there's a lot of other things, but that's one of them. However great the excellences, they never suffice to fulfill expectations. This is why I also say if you expect nothing from people, you won't be disappointed. And as men find themselves disappointed with their exorbitant expectations, they are more ready to be disillusioned than to admire. Aw, I was hoping for so much better and I didn't get it. This sucks. Rather than, well, I was hoping for better, but it is what it is, and take it for what it's worth. The truth is reality against subjective is more like liquid than a solid. A wise man once said, I became wise when I realized I know nothing. That's where I tend to stand with, like, I will bullshit with people. I have a general understanding of a wide range of things, not the widest range. There's a whole bunch of shit I don't know. But, like, I put up a pie chart. Uh, I think it was back all the way back when I was still using Facebook, so years and years ago. I saw this awesome pie chart. It had three sections. It had the tiniest section was the shit I know, and it was like a micro sliver of this chart. And then there was a little bigger section that was the shit I don't know. And then the whole rest of the chart was the shit I don't know. I don't know. And that's generally a great way to look at it because you do know some things, but the shit you don't know is going to grossly exceed the shit you do know, and the shit you don't know that you don't know is going to completely eclipse all the shit you think you know. So l- lower your expectations a few. Hope is a great falsifier of truth. Let skill guard against this by ensuring that fruition exceeds desire. Under promise, over deliver. Be like uh, the Postal Service or the Secretary of State's office. That's one thing I can give credit for to the damn Michigan Secretary of State's office is when they say that your documents will be there in 2 weeks. They know they only have to mail that shit across town. It's going to be there in 4 days. But sometimes they're lazy and don't fucking get to it right away. So they tell you 2 weeks so that when it gets there in the reasonable time of like a week or less, like you feel like you got to win. In reality, they could have probably just gone and prepared the documents and you could have walked out with them bitches. But nope, not going to happen, son. So we're going to tell you 2 weeks. Under promise, over deliver. That's how you destroy expectations, which is what I try to do with this stream. I try to promise you guys absolutely nothing because, well, I'm just some random jackwagon on the internet who isn't an expert in anything. I don't have any college degrees. I'm just some jackass with an opinion, and I like to say the word retard a lot. That's me. I'm the retard. Good morning, friends and retards who are friends. All my weaponized autism. Those that know appears they don't know. Those that don't know appears they know. Usually, you can find out somebody who has a great amount of wisdom by the number of questions they ask. People who don't ask any questions don't convey to me a great fundamental of wisdom as a core value, because those who strive to have wisdom as a value tend to always be questioning. And if you're never questioning things, what different are you than the sheep? A few creditable attempts at the beginning are sufficient to arouse curiosity without pledging one to the final object. It is better that reality should surpass the design and is better than was thought. Yeah, there we go with that under promise and over deliver again. This rule does not apply to the wicked, for the same exaggeration is a great aid to them. They are defeated amid general applause, and what seemed at first extreme ruin comes to be thought quite bearable. That last part doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, that's why I said this go Hagen. I was being a bit facetious with it because the decline in higher education, I tend to trust random jackwagon on the internet with an opinion more than I trust anyone trying to sell me something corporately. And if you're an expert, that means you have some sort of vested financial interest in telling me whatever benefits you based on whoever's paying you. Just saying. Maxime 20. A man of the age. The rarest individuals depend on their age. It is not everyone that finds the age he deserves, and even when he finds it, he does not always know how to utilize it. Now, some people might be thinking they're talking about how old you are. I'm fairly certain when they talk about the age in this, they are referring to the time in which you live. I can relate to this because I fucking hate this timeline. I think that's what they're getting at anyway. Let's find out. Some men have been worthy of a better century. Okay, yeah, so this is the period in which you live. And I definitely am not a man of this age. In fact, I look around at the men and women that populate my community. Nobody is of this age truly in my community. Who fed DarthHideous the black pills again? I walk away and come back to I hate this time. We're talking about him being a man of the age, Div, and all timelines are the same. There are no better centuries. This is all. Why not transurf to an. Uh, I'm not saying I haven't. I'm not saying I haven't. For every species of good does not always triumph. That's interesting. Things have their period. Even excellences are subject to fashion. Mm-hmm. This right here, everything is now. And values, culture, politics, all of this shit is cyclical. Things come and go, and yeah, not every species of good always triumphs. And even excellences like having human decency can fall out of fashion. The sage has one advantage: he is immortal. If this is not his century, many others will be. Ooh, that's a white pill. That's a huge white pill. I'm surrounded by a bunch of sages too, so that's a lot. 21. Oh, this is my least favorite thing. The art of being lucky. Did anybody here know that there is an art to being lucky? I have not mastered any of this shit. I have some of the best unluck in the world. But there is an art to being lucky. Check it out, guys. There are rules of luck. It is not all chance with the wise. It can be assisted by care. Some content themselves with placing themselves confidently at the gate of fortune, waiting till she opens it. Others do better and press forward and profit by their clever boldness, reaching the goddess and winning her favor on the wings of their virtue and valor. Fortune favors the bold, and the rules to luck are to make your own luck. And if you have the capacity to, you can bend circumstances to position yourself in a position to appear much luckier than you are actually, or to win out and come out above what standard should be for luck. But on a true philosophy, there is no other umpire than virtue and insight. For there is no luck or ill luck except wisdom and the reverse, which would be folly. That's the key to luck, is luck's not real. That's the rules. Purchasing one last beer at 1:30 in hopes of being lucky. I mean, luck is a lie. The wise know this. They make their own luck. Which is why you see people who have a really good understanding of whatever it is they're doing and excelling in. They seem to be the lucky ones that rise to the top. I mean, I can think of an excellence that almost wasn't. That guy that has like 7 Super Bowl championships that was drafted like 200th overall, almost not drafted at all. Oh my. Imagine imagine the NFL over the last like decade if Tom Brady had not actually been drafted. Yeah, but all the luck that was made after that. It's crazy, isn't it? I'm making lasagna frita tonight. I don't know how I will ever wait. The cravings are killing me. What is? I mean, I know what lasagna is, but I don't know what Frida is. Sounds. Yeah. Make your own luck. Start it now. That way you don't have to wait. You can just. Oh, fried lasagna. Shit, that does sound good. Yeah, that's how you make your own luck. You get it all prepared right now so that you can stick it in like an hour, and then when you're really about to be ready for it, it'll already be done. Oh, wait a minute. It's 3 hours earlier there than it is here. You still yeah. My bad. I forgot. Like I'm literally looking at my clock. Like it's 1:30. Like you could go ahead and get that shit all set up right now. Have it ready to go in the oven by 3. You're in California, Stan, and it's still the before lunchtime there. Never mind anything I said. I'll get on to talking about things I know about. Like nothing. I mean, 22. A man of knowledge to the point. Wise men arm themselves with tasteful and elegant erudition. That's another word I've never heard before. Can I get a dictionary check on erudition? A practical knowledge of what is going on, not of a common kind, but more like an expert. So, oh man, we just got into the expertism, didn't we? They possess a copious store of wise and witty sayings and of noble deeds, and know how to employ them on fitting occasions. More is often taught by a jest than by the most serious teaching. Pat knowledge helps some more than the 7 arts, be they ever so liberal. And this is why I like to just be a jackass on the internet. I crack jokes. I get off topic. I like to make shit more fun and engaging than to be clinically perfect in my presentation. And sometimes that leads to me giving people a bunch of insuccinct thoughts, some of which are relevant and some of which are completely like I mean, for instance, reactionary to things that are being said in chat, like but the engaging bit right here, like I don't actually have the m- deepest, most like I am not an actual philosopher. I'm a student of philosophy, and I'm learning as much as I'm teaching. Like I like to have a practical understanding of this shit. An applicable understanding. Witty sayings and jests, I mean, to the best of my abilities. An amusement. And that's why I have fun doing this. And I hope everybody else has fun with me. I'm assuming you're having fun or something. You're getting something out of it. Otherwise, why would you be here? And if you are enjoying it, smash that like button. Go ahead and do it. Follow me for more worldly wisdom. For people with Far greater minds than my own. Oh, 23. That's the Jordan number. Be spotless. Fitting, almost. Pain is a far better teacher than pleasure. That's like failure is a much greater teacher than success because you have to improve if you fail. If you always succeed, what is driving you to get better? To be more successfuler? It's not as great of a driver. It can still drive you, but then you get into like an insane level of obsession if you're being constantly driven by nothing but success. That's crazy. It's also exceedingly rare that that ever happens. Be spotless. The indispensable condition of perfection. Yeah, just if you could just go ahead and be indispensably perfect, that'd be great. Joe Jackson is under the chat? Oh, well, shit. Is he contesting the 23? Tell him not to contest this right now. We don't have time for this conversation. Jordan is the GOAT. Few live without some weak point, either physical or moral, which they pamper because they could easily cure it. The keenness of others often regrets to see a slight defect attaching itself to a whole assembly of elevated qualities. It's that little flaw in the diamond. That's how you know it's real. Fake diamonds have no flaws or imperfections. And yet, a single cloud can hide the whole of the sun. Ooh, interesting inverse there. There are likewise patches on our reputation which ill will soon finds out and is continually noticing. Uh the highest skill is to transform them into ornament. So Caesar hid his natural defects with the laurel. And this is why I hide my inherent cynicism and critical nature behind jests and jokes. Oh damn it! Now everybody knows. Shit. Could y'all just forget that I said that I'm hiding uh, a very critical nature, a very judgmental personality, and a very cynical center behind jokes and wit? If y'all could just forget I said that, that'd be great. But no, that's literally like what this is telling you here is if you can't keep a thing that people find distasteful about you, wear it as armor, adorn yourself with it, lean into the shit that people are going to heap on you because they're going to, like, the haters are going to hate. Lean into the who you are. If you can't hide it. Fuck off. This motherfucker says wit with a question mark. Oh, dick. Ha ha ha. 24. Keep the imagination under control. Sometimes correcting, sometimes assisting it. For it is all important for our happiness and even sets the reason right. It can tyrannize and is not content with looking on, but influences and often dominates life, causing it to be happy or burdensome according to the folly to which it leads. For it makes us either contented or discontented with ourselves. Before some, it continually holds up the penalties of action and becomes the mortifying lash of these fools. To others, it promises happiness and adventure with blissful delusion. It can do all this unless the most prudent self control keeps it in subjection. You do have to keep your stupid, overactive thinking me under control, lest it destroy you from inside. But Gohagen is at the heart of it. In order to do this, you have to be self aware. You have to know who the fuck you are so you can know what is real and what is imagined. And if you have a skewed understanding of yourself, you are going to have a skewed interpretation on real and imaginary. It's just the way it is. Outward perspective, inward uh, introspection is the term. Inward retrospection, it's a different thing, but it is like what you present your display versus your introspective, like, and your the way you appear versus who you understand yourself to be. That's often not the same person. The way people see you versus who you are rarely ever is. I don't know. I mean, you have a bit of a point there, but at the same time, like, yeah, introspective is. Okay, you have a point. Fair enough. Fair enough. Because the things of the future are the things that you do, and your interpretation of them is always past tense. But yeah, you have to constantly be checking to make sure that you're not in that blissful delusion and that you're not overly fucking floggating yourself. We can be our own worst enemies in both ways. And this is definitely commenting, like, not so much on, like, anything having to do with anyone else, but just the way you see yourself. That the mortifying lash versus, like, the blissful delusion, both of which are equally harmful for completely inverted reasons. So it's hard to tell people how to be self-aware because I find it to be the case that introspection is one of those kind of things you either have it or you don't. It's not really something that can be taught. And I mean, it's something that you can find. And I guess once you find it, you can learn how to do it better. But for the people who don't have an introspective nature, they never question themselves. Like, it's really impossible to explain to them how to do such things. They are hopelessly dependent on the system and will fight to protect it. It's almost not worth talking to them. I don't know. Sometimes you can wake people up, though. Get them to, like, understand that just because you believe a thing about yourself to be true doesn't mean it is if you don't know who you are. Hey, T3. See you in the funny papers or the rewatch gang. Hope you had a good show. If anybody wants a woman's opinions on things, you should go check out T3's channel on the Rumble side because we need more people in the chat. But that's literally a woman's opinions on things, thoughts and stuff, interpretations. Take that for what it's worth. No, I'm just playing. T3's cool. Like, we disagree vehemently on a great many things, but that's why we can have conversations because we can disagree and both attempt to understand things from our very, very opposite perspective. But at the end of the day, we don't hate each other. 25. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I hope everybody has their notepads out for this one. Know how to take a hint. Even I'm bad at this sometimes. And I know so many people are just fucking terrible at taking a hint. Why should you know how to take a hint? 'Twas once the art of arts to be able to discourse. Now 'tis no longer sufficient. We must know how to take a hint, especially in disabusing ourselves. He cannot make himself understood who does not himself easily understand. But on the other hand, there are pretended diviners of the heart and lynxes of the intentions. The very truths which concern us most can only be half spoken. Isn't that the very truth that concerns us most? But with attention, we can grasp the whole meaning. When you hear anything favorable, keep a tight rein on your credulity. If unfavorable, give it the spur. Fuck yeah. I mean, I thought that was gonna go a different way. I guess I can't take a hint on what the hell, Gracian was gonna get into with that, but, uh, it's true. I mean, especially in discourse today, I find people are much less direct, and they tend to always say less than necessary. So you have to be able to pick up on the more subtlety underneath what people say, and we often find ourselves assuming and jumping to conclusions because we have to do too much hint taking. mm, Pretended diviners of the heart and lynxes of the intentions. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of words here. There's a lot of words here. And it's very eloquently put. Is this like it's easier to complain than compliment? So take everything accordingly? Yeah. It's also easier to insinuate than it is to state outright in anything that is going to be the very truths which concern us the most, because the ones that concern us the most are often going to be the most unpleasant of truths anyway. It's not hard to tell a pleasant truth. It's very difficult to share an unpleasant truth, especially with someone you give a shit about. So people go ahead and imply and they give hint, but rarely will they come out and tell you because they're going to reach that often unreceptive, combative, defensive, that static energy that comes with having to actually say the thing. How can you know where you're heading if you don't know where you've been? You can't. Maybe. Maybe you can. I don't know. I can't. I couldn't answer that. More practice. That's it. Yep. More thinking, more understanding, more introspecting, more listening to other people's opinions, points of view, perspectives, and understandings. There is wisdom to be found in everyone, whether they be the most sage or the most foolish, and it only takes discernment to figure out what wisdom all have to offer. So that's probably the theme for the day. And since we did make it through 15 of the 300 laws of not being a dumb fuck, we hit the 2 hour mark. It's a good casual Friday vibe. I feel like we can go ahead and call it a stream here. Come back, do part 3 Monday. We'll see how far we get in it. It was great having everybody here on this casual Friday morning slash afternoon slash evening, wherever the hell you are. This is definitely a much different vibe than the last project, and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, discernment, the space, the time, the space and time, and thought before reaction. Yes. It's all the things you do before you react when you take the time to not react immediately. Yeah, have a very relaxed, casual day. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. And I will see you all back here Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do part 3 of this here book. And if y'all don't know, I'm on with Cool Frog Sunday night at 8:30 Eastern Time. We do the Exploring Spirituality. We're going through the book of Matthew. I think we're on our 6th installment in that. That's been a great conversation the last, well, since I've been there. Like, that's been a pretty great conversation. So check that out. You can hear all the Jesus vibes. There's lots of Jesus vibes going on in that one. But yeah, I also do that one on my Rumble channel. So if you're subscribed to my Rumble, you definitely get a, a restream on that one. If not, definitely go check out Cool Frog's Rumble channel because he does it on his Rumble too. We don't do that stream on the YouTube though. For all of you who are still on YouTube, the Jesus energy is only done on the Rumble side because I don't think YouTube loves Jesus all that much, to be honest. That and we can only stream it to so many locations, but that's another story. Anyway, seatbelts and sidearms, take all your white pills, find peace in the chaos. Peace does not come from the chaos is always going to be all around you. Peace does not come from the exterior, but it is a thing within. So find it within you, find it within whatever source that gives it to you. Like, I'll see you all Monday night. Stay strapped or get clapped. Uh, Darth Hideous is out.